Dear listeners, my name is Anthony Clark.
And I'm Melanie Clark.
And we are The Amazing Clarks. We're both award-winning certified life and love coaches and a husband and wife duo that have been coaching together as a team for 24 years and that have been passionately in love for 32. They call us The Amazing Clarks because we empower people to live amazing lives.
And we're here to help you get from where you are to where you want to be in life and love. Love the Amazing Clarks is our personal love letter to all of you that love love.
So today we have another amazing episode for you guys. Today's topic is boring marriages. Boring marriages.
Boring.
Yes. And so we're going to talk about what makes marriage boring and as well as how to prevent it from being boring.
Yes.
And if you're in a boring marriage, don't worry, we got you. We're going to save you today on this episode. So before we jump into the main topic, it's time to catch up with the Clarks. Baby, anything new and exciting you want to share with the listeners? What are you
Actually, I
I
don't want to be boring and always be the one that says what I'm doing first. So I'm going to switch it up so the listeners won't get bored. Well, how's your week been, Anthony? We'll start with you.
Nice. My week has been pretty damn good.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know, actually, my weeks are always pretty good because I'm it's just my energy and my mindset.
Yeah.
You know, but what if I've been doing... Getting back in the gym again, took a couple of days off. Since you came back, it kind of threw off my program, and it's all right. I'm reacclimated to the new patterns.
We've been kissing and hugging and loving and not going to the gym.
That's right. I've been trying to get it in instead of working it out.
Right. Yes,
and
you
so,
have. And I love it.
Yes. So, you need balance in life.
Yes,
you know
you do.
what I'm saying? And what sense is it to work on that body, make it all beautiful if I can't share it with the person that I love?
That's right.
That's right.
I appreciate it.
Yes. So a little balance. So
Yes.
that has been pretty much my week.
Yes.
E2, baby.
I've been right there with you, hanging out with you, having fun with you.
Yep.
We've been chilling, eating yummy food, enjoying each other. I've been working still at the same time. And I just like to acknowledge how blessed we are. We really are able to make our own schedule. We do what we want when we want to do it.
Yeah.
And so it's just been a really nice week of flow of a little bit of work some days, a lot of work some days, hanging out. We've had days where let's just stay in bed and Netflix and chill. And that's been fun. We've been going out. It's been great. It's been a great week.
Yes, it has. And and I was thinking earlier today how blessed we are to coach together.
Yeah.
And I love the transformation. I love helping people. I love seeing them, empower their relationships, empower their lives. And when they lose hope in it, that they're like, there's no hope and we're doomed.
Yeah.
And then we can come in there and help them.
Yes.
And get them back on their feet and see them soaring. I love that. It's such an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
It's rewarding.
No, it really is. And we've had some great transformations this week, and I literally fall in love with our clients. I just love them so much. But it's easy to love them because they're sharing everything with us, right?
Yeah.
They get to be so vulnerable with us. We're so vulnerable with them that it's just this beautiful exchange, and it's been extraordinary. I'm so grateful.
And sometimes I think why am I able to understand people so well? I understand people and I could predict so many different things that, if they make this move, this is what's going to happen. If they make that move, this is what's going to happen. And it's always correct. But I realize that as a coach, we've been coaching together for over 22 years and we've coached thousands of people. And when we're coaching, they're sharing a private part of their life, things that they don't share with anybody else. So we see a side of humanity that's so on such a deep level.
True.
That after a while, you can predict.
Yeah.
You can see, okay, if you make this move 10 steps down the road, this is what's going to happen. You make that move, this is what's going to happen. And so it's like a psychic ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. And I love being able to be with people and not have any judgment for them.
Right.
And them not have any judgment for us. It's such a clean, it's such a clean energy, and you can just go so deep with people. So I agree with you. It has been an extraordinary experience coaching people this week. And because we were apart for about a month, we were coaching separately, And when we're together, it's I don't know if the listeners know about this, but it's called a mastermind, right? When there's more than one person that are focused on a subject, then all of your energies connect to solve a problem, right? That's what a mastermind group is. And so when we're coaching, you and I are masterminding it. It's like we're flowing the energy back and forth to help the couple or the single person or the team or whoever we're working with, and it's just so exciting. I just love it so much.
Life is good. Then on top of that, we get to do the podcast.
Yeah, we do. We get to do it here. Stuff with Same thing we're doing here, right? Like talking to each other here. We get to do to help people. That's our job. That is our job. Thank you, universe. More, please. I love it.
Yes.
So we're not bored at all, are we?
We're not bored. Perfect segue, Melanie Clark with the segue.
You know, I know how to make that
good
energy
job, baby.
flow the
good
way
job,
I want
Bobo.
it to go.
Good job. Okay, so boring marriages.
Yes.
You know, growing up, that was always one of my fears.
Honestly, I think that's a fear for a lot of men. Yeah, I think men are afraid of that. I think women expect it, and men fear it.
Yeah, and I remember growing up watching my grandparents. And it was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
And they looked bored. And everything was like, okay, we are just fulfilling our obligations. And there were moments of like excitement, like things like, hey, look at that, they're having fun over there. Those were very far and few in between.
Yeah.
And most of the time it was just boring. And growing up, it was like, I don't want that. As I grew up, I started seeing it in couples. And actually, in my first marriage, it started off great and exciting. Yeah. But then it got boring. And once things get boring, dun, 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 that's when the trouble happens.
It's downhill from there.
That's right. So how do you feel about boring? Like you said that you felt like that growing up too. Like what?
I think for me, a boring marriage is just when you see couples that just have that look on their face. Like, I'm here, but I really don't want to be. Like you, I remember
30 yards there.
Yeah, I remember when we were dating and we would go out to restaurants and we would just notice, we would point out the couples like, look at them. They are not even talking to each other. They don't want to be there with each other. They're looking around. There's no connection. And I think the boredom comes from, this is just my perspective, I think boring relationships happen when you have an expectation that your partner is going to entertain you or that your partner has the ability to make you happy or make your life better. And I believe that the excitement that comes into a relationship comes from each individual being able to create it within themselves. So what I mean by that is, it's kind of like what we were just talking about. You and I are so fulfilled within ourselves. We love what we do for a living. We have lots of interests. We have interests together. We have interests separately. We do a lot of activities together. We spend a lot of time together. But then we also do our own thing. And I think that when you're constantly bringing new energy into yourself and new perspectives into yourself, then when you show up with a partner, you have something to exchange. And I don't know that a lot of couples know how to do that because they get caught in on the, I like to call it the hamster wheel. You call it the template. I call it the hamster wheel, where it's like you just do the same things over and over again, which is really human behavior. The brain wants to conserve energy. So we operate in patterns and we're very comfortable doing the same thing over and over and over again. So people don't like change. They don't want to try new things. They want to eat the same food because that's just part of how we operate. But you have to push past that and you have to override that. And I personally, a long time ago told myself, because I used to be very fearful of life. I know how people have a hard time believing this. I used to be shy. I used to be afraid of everything. And I just got tired of playing small. So I started training myself to like move towards things that made me uncomfortable. If something made me uncomfortable and I felt it was holding me back, I would push myself to run towards it. Just do it. It's okay if you fail. It's okay if you get hurt. It's okay. But this fear and this discomfort is not worth feeling safe. So I've learned to I actually enjoy challenges. I really, really do, because I perceive them as growth. I perceive them as new energy. So I don't find myself getting bored with myself. Therefore, I don't get bored with you. And you're very similar. You're always growing and you'll always have a lot to bring to the table.
I think that what happens with a lot of couples is that, first of all, what you see, you tend to imitate. Mm-hmm. And that's how we learn. Yeah. And like I said, when you're growing up with parents or grandparents that have boring relationships, then it subconsciously starts programming you that this is how relationships are supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And so subconsciously, even if the relationship starts off exciting, you're going to fall into that mode. Right. Because subconsciously, this is what it's supposed to be. Right. And I think a lot of times with couples, when they're dating, it's exciting. And the sex is what makes it exciting more than anything else.
How did I know you were going to bring up sex, babe?
Because you know me. And so when, like everything else, after a while, the sexual energy is, you can't maintain, in most cases, that same level of sexual energy that you did when you were dating. Yeah. Once you get into a relationship and you have a life and obligations and things you got to do and work, and then the sex becomes less exciting. Mm-hmm. Or less often.
Or plateau.
Yeah. Now, then you look around and go, what else is there? Yeah. And if you're not best friends, you don't have good communication, then that's not there. Yeah. Then it's like, okay, what else do I do?
I need something else.
Right. And if you have the resources to travel and have experiences, that's good for a while, but eventually you still got to come back down to earth. Yeah. And if you don't have the resources, you really got to, you're going to have to come down to earth. So that's, I think, why a lot of couples get bored with their relationships. And then they start looking, going, wait, I need that thing to make me feel more excited. We need a bigger house. Wait, we need another car. Yeah. We need another party at the house we need to throw for our family. I need that outfit. And they keep trying to fill that void, and it doesn't work. Mm-mm. And they thought that if I hit these benchmarks, if I get all these things, I was told by society that when I get all this stuff, that my life is going to be amazing.
I'll be happy.
And I'm going to be happy, and there's going to be so much fun and excitement, and I'm on Instagram. Look at me, hoo-hoo. Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't work out like that.
Yep. Well, and I would just add to that, getting married and having a family is at the top of the pile, right? Like, I'm aspiring to that. That's why so many single people are miserable, because they think, if I get that, I'll be happy. And yeah, you will for a little while, but you're still, the boredom's going to come back. Everything that you experience now is still going to show up. Now you just have another person that it's showing up for them too, and you got to figure it out together. And that could be good, and that could be fun, or that could be challenging. Right. So being bored in a relationship is going to happen. There's going to be times where there's not a lot going on, and that's okay. We need both, right? We need excitement, and then we need chill. We need excitement, and then we need chill.
That makes sense, but I have a different perspective on that. I feel like bored is a state of mind.
Yeah, true.
And so if you're bored in your relationship, you're really bored with yourself.
Yes, I agree.
If you're bored with your life, you're really bored with yourself. Yeah. And it's all a creation. It's like, I have a great relationship. You have a good relationship or bad relationship? Right. That's all perspective.
True.
If you focus on the things that you're grateful for, you'll have a great relationship. If you focus on the things you don't like, then you won't have a great relationship. So when it comes to boredom, it's like, if that's the case, your relationship is boring, it's up to you to go within and you start finding things to be excited about. Happiness is created within you. So because I find my happiness within me first, and from spirit, then I'm always entertained. Yeah. I can be in the corner by myself, just sitting there looking at the wall, but I'm having a ball. Yeah. Because I'm going within and having thoughts and spirit and focusing on different, and expanding my mind and my consciousness. And so then when I come back to the outer world with you, you're just icing on my cake.
Yes.
And so
I agree. And you're right, it is all perspective. So when I say like there's going to be boring, there are things that you and I do. Like we sit around and sometimes we don't even talk. We sit and drink coffee or just sit outside and we're not engaging each other. And some people would look at that and be like, that looks boring. But we're not bored.
No.
Because we're in our own thoughts. We have our own relationship with ourselves. So we're not bored. And everything is just how you label it, right? And if you think that marriage is supposed to be, sunshine and lollipops and cupcakes every second of the day, you're going to be disappointed because it's life. And I think what happens to make people feel bored a lot is focus, right? When people are in, the stage of raising children, newly married people that are having families, all the energy and focus goes to kids, bills, work, and getting ahead, right? Trying, wanting to buy a house. They're striving for all of these things. And that can become a pattern where that's all that you think about. And so if that's all that you're thinking about, your life becomes all about responsibility. And you have to really be aware about creating some harmony. And that's why we hear all the time, like couples go on date nights and get a babysitter and, women take me time and men should have friend time. The reason people recommend that we do those things is because we have to continually create some area of desire in our lives. Human beings get bored when they don't create desire and they spend all of their time in responsibility. And especially here in America, everything is about success, right? Like success and money and how well and status and how well you're doing. So people are striving for that constantly and they're missing out on the little beautiful moments, the personal growth. I can get excited sitting outside, seeing a bird, you know what I mean? Right. Being in nature. There's so much beauty. There's so much to be excited about in life. But when we put our blinders on and it's all about striving and achieving, then we start to get bored because that is not enough for the human spirit. You have to have some passion. You have to ask yourself, what is my thing? What is my thing that makes my heart flutter? Right. So, like I said, we're really blessed to be able to bring the things that are our personal passions into our relationship. Yeah. So if your marriage is getting boring, focus on yourself, not your partner. That's the other thing. People start to point fingers. I'm bored with you now. You're not doing it right. You're not making me happy. No, bring something into your own life. Learn something new. Take a class. Read a book. Expand and explore. Make some new friends. Yeah. Have an adventure. But it literally comes from your mind. The other day, you and I were in bed. It was like in the morning. We were watching news. And I was just thinking about gratitude. And I literally, my body began to vibrate. And I was like, I feel so good right now. I was still in my pajamas. Nothing had even happened. Like nothing major was going on. And I just loved it. I was just like, I took my shirt off. Oh, you did take your shirt off. Yeah, that helped. Yeah, that's what it was.
We need some excitement in this boring marriage.
Right? Anthony, take your shirt off. But it really comes from within and it has to do with your thoughts. If you are telling yourself your life is boring and I don't like this and I don't like that and I don't like this, then that's how you're going to feel. So gratitude is a great help when it comes to feeling bored. And then you'll attract ideas and thoughts that will help you to have more excitement in your marriage.
Yeah, if I rely on other people to bring me excitement, I'll always be disappointed. Yeah. So that's why, like I said, I get it within me first. I create it. And then if I can get it outside of me, that's icing on a cake. But I think a lot of times the other person's looking at that other person, the partner, first and foremost, and going, come on, do something that make me feel entertained. Do something to make me feel excited. Do something. And we're not here for that reason. It doesn't work like that. No. Because that person's not here just to dance a jig every time you feel bored. Right. And so if you expecting it from your partner first and foremost, you're going to be disappointed. Yeah. Create it within yourself. Because there's times when you don't want to do anything and it's like, I want to go do something, but you don't want to. Yeah. And if I look at it like, she don't want to do it, so no, I can't do it. But I go, you know what? Okay, I'll do that just a little bit at first.
Ooh,
just a little bit.
You just get a look on. You just get a look on your face, Anthony. Right. I can tell. I'm like, that's not my problem.
I can't help the initial knee-jerk response. I'm a human being.
Yeah.
So that initial emotion, disappointment, I can't help. But then as soon as that happens, that's my indicator that I'm in my little bitch mode. And it's like, I'm in my ego.
Yeah.
And it's like, Anthony, Antoine, that's my ego. And it's like, oh, okay. Oh, all right. I just got caught up in my emotions. Then I get back in alignment like, hey, you know what? Let her do what she wants to do. Yeah. I'll go do me. Let me go have fun.
Right.
And so I think that that's a big part of it. You have to learn to create it within yourself. But then there are also moments where I feel like I don't want to just sit in the house and look at the wall.
Yeah.
And I want to go out and do something, but not because I'm bored, but because my spirit is pulling me to have an experience.
Yeah.
And I could feel that pull. And it's like, I need to go to a nice restaurant. Yeah. Or let's get dressed up and just go over
for a walk or wherever. Yeah.
And then when I do that, there's this rewarding feeling that I get. Like, this is great. This is because I'm listening to my spirit guiding me. But I'm not doing it out of boredom. I'm doing it out of desire.
Alignment. Yeah. And desire. And like I said, we all have to have some desire or else we will feel bored. But I want to remind people too, you're not only be bored in marriage, single people are bored too. Mm-hmm. It is just a state of mind and you have the ability to do something about it. And also, don't compare yourself to other couples because you don't know what's going on in their life. I hear that all the time. Like, we're not doing this and that, but you're not them. Mm-hmm. Create what works for you. Mm-hmm. And you can be inspired by other people, but we're not all supposed to be living the same life. And there's ups and downs for everybody.
Yeah. And boredom also comes from a lack of using your imagination.
Yes.
And when it's like little kids, you could put them out in the dirt. And they will play with a stick in the dirt all day long for hours and hours. Mm-hmm. And we used to do that when we were little because we were using our imagination.
Yep.
And I think in relationships and as adults in society, as we get older, we use our imagination less and less.
Yeah, that's true.
And we're looking at other things to create it or to utilize our imagination, things externally, like TV and, sports and watching stuff. So we're
externally, we got to go somewhere, do something to feel entertained. We don't know how to do it. We're
not taking responsibility for our own imagination.
Yeah.
And so if you don't use it, you lose it. We know a lot of people that are like that.
Yeah.
They have no imagination. And then they're constantly running, I need to go this experience. I need that experience. And they're constantly looking for that fix.
Yeah.
And it never does it for them.
Well, that creates the buying culture, right? Yeah. Like, we got to go buy this. We got to go get this. We got to go pick this up. Yeah. And then you get those things and then it's over. And then you gotta do it again. Another thing that causes boredom, and I just realized it by what you were saying about like how you get hurt a little bit if I don't want to do what you want to do right when you want to do it, but you check yourself. And I pick up on that energy. I notice it. And I used to feel like, I need to give up what I want to do what he wants because I could see that he's hurt and I don't want him to be hurt, or I could see that, it's not working for him. And over the years, I've learned that I don't need to do that. I'm not responsible for your feelings or your reaction to a no or a yes or a maybe in any situation. And that has made me feel more fulfilled as a wife, because I think part of what makes people bored in marriage is there's this programming of we have these roles, and a wife is supposed to be like this, and a husband is supposed to be like that. And then comes in this obligation that we have to perform in a way to fit into those roles. And that is not always in alignment with our spirit. And I mean, it comes down to little things like, I used to not even speak up if I didn't want to watch something on TV, like, he's in charge of the TV. Like, if that's what he wants to watch, that's what he wants to watch. And then I would be like, I don't even like watching this. This is boring. I'm sitting here watching something he wants to watch just because I want to be with him and I'm a wife. And then I started to be like, I ain't watching that. I'm going to go in the other room, read a book. Or I'm going to go watch a video, or I'm going to pull out my computer and do some work. And I realized that the boredom I was feeling was created by me. because I was telling myself, like, I have this role to play in this relationship. And if I do things that don't please you or are not a match to what you're doing, then I'm not being a good wife. And over the years, I've overridden that programming. I realized, like, I have every right to be me and do what feels good to me. Even if it's not the same thing with you at the same time. We don't always have to do everything together, and we don't always have to agree on everything. And I think that brings more excitement that we're different and we're doing things differently.
So now let me swerve. Swerve!
Oh,
we're in the bedroom now. Boredom in the bedroom.
Oh,
so now,
okay. Oh,
how do you deal with that?
They're getting a twofer? Yeah. They're getting boredom in the bedroom? What? Okay.
Because you said that you don't always have to do things together.
Yeah. Right.
And when it comes to that, it's true. When it comes to sex, you can do it by yourself.
Yeah.
But
that's very true.
Sometimes it's good to do it with somebody else. It makes it more exciting.
It's actually really good to do it with someone else.
So how do they avoid
boredom in the bedroom?
Boredom in the bedroom, right? So what do you think causes it? And how do you think is it the same process, you think?
I do. I think boredom in the bedroom comes from fear of confrontation. And a lot of times people are not willing to communicate, have those tough conversations about what they want and need. And so they just start kind of walling themselves off and just allowing things to happen that don't really create excitement for them. And, you know, we just did a podcast on sexless marriages. There are a lot of reasons that happens, but you will get bored in the bedroom if you are just doing the same thing over and over again. And it goes back to what I said in the beginning of the podcast. The brain wants to conserve energy. So once it finds something that feels good, it's like, let's just keep doing that. And then you're an autopilot and you just keep doing it, and it'll get you there eventually, time after time after time after time, but it doesn't have the same excitement. So if you are not comfortable having conversations about your genitalia, your body, your fantasies, your partner's performance, your performance, you're eventually going to get bored because you're not creating any change. And change creates excitement.
And I think that goes back to imagination.
Yes.
Once we stop, your imagination is about expanding. And once you stop using it, you stop expanding. And if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yes.
And we're not built to just remain stagnant in life. Energy has to keep moving. Yes. And even if you're just sitting in the corner looking at the wall, when I'm doing that, I'm moving energy because in my mind, I'm using my imagination. So I'm growing and expanding and pondering different thoughts. So that's why I love doing that expansion. Sitting in the quiet. I'm sitting there quietly. People might look and go, he looks bored. Oh, no, I'm having a ball because I'm in my mind expanding thoughts and playing with different concepts and looking at different perspectives. That to me is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I think that in a bedroom, it's like I said earlier, when we grow up, like watching our grandparents, for example, what we see is what we imitate. And then we have these subconscious expectations and beliefs of what a relationship or marriage is supposed to be like. And so, for example, back in the day when it was like you only have sex in a missionary position. And people would actually do that in a women missionary position. Anything else is bad. So now you're growing up and you're having sex only in the missionary position. You think, I'm fitting into society. I'm doing it right. And then you find yourself bored with it.
Yeah.
But then it's like you stick with it. But then you get more bored. And then you have the conversation with your partner. And your partner's like, no, we're not. You're freaky. You're whatever.
Right.
So now your inability to use your imagination and expand because you've been programmed and controlled by all of these BS societal beliefs.
Right.
You're gonna be bored because you're not expanding.
Yes.
And so the key is to get to the point where you can change your perspective on things. Be open-minded, use your imagination, and to grow. And I think in the bedroom, a lot of times, there's so much stigma about, you act like you're supposed to, women's supposed to do this is bad, this is good, and it blocks off the growth.
Yeah.
As opposed to people coming and going, you know what? Me man, you woman. We spirit. Let's have exploration and just explore without guilt, without shame, without blame, without, and so use that imagination, people.
And create a safe space of no judgment. I know I say that a lot, but when you feel judged by your partner, it shuts you down and it prevents you from using all of who you are, your imagination. You try to stay in a box to prevent that judgment. So you have to make an agreement, like, we're going to try things. We're not going to judge ourselves or each other, and we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out what brings us joy, what brings us excitement, and more of that into this relationship. And I always like to encourage people to say, I want more. Because when you say we want to create something different, you're kind of saying we don't have it. You do have it. You just want more. You just want to expand. You just want to continue growing. So we just want more excitement. And don't even label yourself as bored. Label it as, we're just ready to grow. It's really all about how you see things and how you think of things.
We're ready to expand energy.
I love it. So I just want to thank all of you for hanging out with us. We love and appreciate you.
Yes, love every single one of you listeners.
Yes, we do. So make sure you're connecting with us over Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube at The Amazing Clarks.
That's right. If you guys want to get a copy, don't forget of How to Stop Being an Irritating Person, 20 Irritating Traits That Pushes People Away and How to Fix Them, then you can download your copy at theamazingclarks.com. If you guys are interested in becoming a life coach or just want to learn some skills to life coach yourself or the other people around you, then check out our life coach training and certification course at Law of Attraction LifeCoachAcademy.com. And if you haven't got a chance to get a copy of our book, Crack the Code, Secrets to Achieving Your Happily Ever After, make sure you pick up your copy today. Yes. Available at Amazon.com. This is a bestseller. This is for singles as well as couples. And last but not least, if you want to coach with Anthony and Melanie Clark, you can coach with us via Zoom or by phone, no matter where you live around the globe. And you may even be able to coach with us in the LA area or in the North Carolina, Charlotte area if you play your cards right. But to learn more, go to theamazingclarks.com or reach out to us and we got you.
Yes. And remember, to go there, you got to grow there.
There you go, people. We gave it to you. Now what you going to do with it?
Love
the Amazing Clarks. See you next time.
See you next time.